Peak China's forced inspections of merchant ships. Hello and welcome back to our channel. For those of you who are new here, we are N.D.P News, a channel dedicated to exploring the fascinating world of geopolitics and current international affairs with daily coverage. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get into today's topic: China's ship inspections and its implications for Taiwan. As tensions between China and Taiwan continue to simmer, China has recently announced it'll start inspecting trade ships within the region of the Taiwan Strait. While China claims that the inspections are meant to ensure safety and prevent smuggling, many experts see this move as a clear attempt to further isolate Taiwan and exert pressure on the island nation. To understand why this move is so significant, it's important to look at the broader geopolitical context in which it's occurring. Taiwan has been a point of contention between China and the international community for many years. China claims that Taiwan is a part of its territory and has repeatedly threatened to use force to bring the island under its control. Meanwhile, Taiwan has maintained its independence and has sought to build closer ties with other nations, including the United States. Over the past few years, China has ramped up its efforts to isolate Taiwan diplomatically and economically. It has pressured countries to cut ties with Taiwan and has used its economic power to punish those that do not comply. China has also conducted military exercises near Taiwan and has increased its military presence in the region. One of the biggest concerns arising from this move by China is the potential for it to exacerbate the already precarious food situation in Taiwan. Taiwan is heavily dependent on food imports, with more than 80% of its food needs being met by imports. The island's limited agricultural land and freshwater resources mean that it cannot produce enough food to feed its population. As such, any disruption to the food supply chain could quickly lead to a humanitarian crisis. In addition to the potential for food shortages, there are other forms of economic strain that could result from China's actions in the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan is heavily dependent on international trade, and any disruption to its supply chain could have a significant impact on its economy. The potential for increased tariffs, trade barriers, and other forms of economic retaliation from China could further exacerbate this situation, potentially leading to a recession or even a depression in Taiwan. Furthermore, China's actions are likely to exacerbate tensions between the two sides and increase the risk of conflict. Taiwan has already accused China of violating international law by conducting military exercises near its borders, and these inspections will only add to the sense of unease and mistrust between the two sides. It's also worth noting that China's move is likely to have wider implications for the region as a whole. Many countries in the region are watching China's actions closely, and some may be concerned about the precedent that is being set. If China can isolate Taiwan in this way, it raises the possibility that it could do the same to other countries that it sees as a threat. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. Now let's get back to it. Taiwan's response. Taiwan has asked merchant vessels flying its flag to refuse onboard inspections by the Chinese Coast Guard after China's maritime authorities launched patrols in response to a meeting between Taiwanese leader Tsai Ing-wen and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. During a parliamentary hearing in Taipei, Chiu Kuo-cheng, Taiwan's defense minister, made it unequivocally clear that Taiwanese vessels would not be subjected to Chinese inspections. He stressed that as long as these ships were flying the Taiwanese flag, they were a part of their territory and were protected under international law. This statement came after the Fujian Maritime Safety Administration in China announced 3 days of patrols in the Taiwan Strait. The fleet was led by the Coast Guard cutter, the Haishun 06, and would carry out inspections on ferries, cargo, and construction vessels. These on-site inspections were seen by Taipei's China Policymaking Mainland Affairs Council as a deliberate attempt to escalate tensions and an obvious violation of cross-strait maritime transport agreements and general maritime practice. The Mainland Affairs Council expressed their commitment to promoting the gradual resumption of healthy and orderly cross-strait exchanges after the pandemic. However, if the mainland persisted in taking unilateral and unreasonable actions to obstruct normal cross-strait exchanges, they would be forced to take corresponding measures. The Haishun 06 which was the largest Chinese Coast Guard ship operating in the strait, was monitored at a distance of 0.5 nautical miles by Taiwanese patrol vessel, the Hsinchu. According to Taiwan's Coast Guard, the Chinese state broadcaster CCTV aired a 3-hour live stream of the Haishun 6's patrol of the northern and central sections of the Taiwan Strait. The broadcast mentioned the McCarthy-Tsai meeting as the reason behind the maritime operation, but it also sent meaningful signals that might explain Beijing's relatively restrained reaction compared to its show of force in August 2022, when Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei as the sitting House Speaker. Chinese analysts who appeared on the show stated that the operation was especially low-key and involved a grassroots politician in McCarthy, whose political background was markedly different from that of Pelosi's political family. The Republican leader was also not a radical hawk who put on shows to display deeply ingrained political ideologies, according to the commentators. But what are your views on China's justification for inspecting ships in the Taiwan Strait? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and check out our other videos on the channel for even more great content. Thanks for watching. This has been N.D.P News, signing off.